seated with, among Tiger fans, known as number 20 and 1959 Heisman Trophy winner, but around the Louisiana State Penitentiary, it's Dr. Billy Cannon, dentist for the Angola Clinic. Thank you for sitting down with us.
Good, bud.
Dr.
Guilty
Cannon.
on both charges.
How LSU football was as compared to nowadays, but
Well, in my first year on the varsity and the 3-year freshman game, we played the whole game.
wow.
We played both sides of the ball, offense, defense, whatever. It was a challenge.
Yeah.
The recruiting was a lot different then than it is now. The pressure to commit, to do this, to do that. But I was very fortunate that I made the decision to go to LSU, and when I did, everything worked out for the best for myself and for my teammates.
Yeah.
We had a great run.
Now, Ole Miss was the supreme rivalry when you were playing. Was Alabama much of it?
No, they really weren't. They weren't very good. We played them when I was a sophomore. I faked a punt for about 6 yards, made another run, and we beat them handily. The next year we played them in Mobile, Alabama. And everything changed because their coach's name now was Bear Bryant. That was his first game. He had seen us play Rice, and he had them fired to the hilt. He had them believing. And we ended up winning the game, I think it was 13-3 or something like that. That was the night that the stands fell in. They had so many people in the bleachers that the bleachers collapsed. And they were dragging people out with broken arms and legs. It was very bad. But that shows the enthusiasm that Bear Bryant brought to that game. And I can remember it like it was yesterday. He's about out to the hash mark. But he's not looking at the field, he's looking back at his bench. Well, what are they doing? Well, what are they doing out there? Well, somebody better tell me, and somebody better tell me quick. You could see assistant coaches hiding behind players, getting behind ice chests. They didn't know what we were doing. The big ball game was LSU and Ole Miss. When a Johnny Vault brought a team on the field, they were good. And they were well coached. Right now that became a rivalry. And a rivalry is where two great teams or two excellent teams, well coached, winning records year after year after year, i.e. LSU-Alabama now. I think we'll eventually, in time, if not this year and last, the Texas A&M LSU game will be a huge rivalry.
Oh, sure.
I look for that to be, again, sold out perennial. And you throw that rivalry in with the Ole Miss rivalry and the Alabama, you've got enough rivalries for 1 year.
Yeah. Bringing it back to 1959, I'm sure you've been reminding the past few weeks, Halloween coming around, your 1959 run.
He stands on his own 28. He gets a pass from center. He boots it and gets another nice kick away going way downfield. Billy Cannon watches it bounce. He takes it on his own 11. He comes back upfield to the 15. Stumbles momentarily. He's at the 20. Running hard at the 25. Gets away from one man to 30. Still runs at 25. At the 35 to 25. He's down to 50. He's in the 40. 45 to 40. In the 10 to 5. He scores!
The other one was a rematch in the Sugar Bowl against Ole Miss, who I made the run and we beat them 7-3. They beat us 21-0. And if the truth was known, if the Sugar Bowl Stadium wouldn't have had the end zone covered, they'd have run us out in the street.
Right.
They just don't ever play a rematch. It's a bad mistake.
Right. It's funny you mentioned the rematch. It's much like a couple years ago when LSU beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa, and then they go to the championship and Alabama beats them. It's kind of a similar.
And where was it?
It was
in the Sugar Bowl.
In the Sugar Bowl, yeah. That's funny.
Bad mistake. Both times.
Yeah.
Don't ever give them another shot at you.
I spoke to you a few weeks ago about the Ole Miss game, and that sort of turned out not the way we had expected.
No, it turned out terrible. It was, you know, if you weren't pulling for either side, it was a great ball game to
Oh, yeah.
watch. But you can see progress. You can see that they're getting better.
Yeah.
It's just can they get better quick enough? Have they got good enough to bail out the season by beating Alabama? I hope so.
Yeah.
I certainly hope so.
Alabama's quarterback A.J. McCarron, he's being talked about for Heisman this year. Do you follow the Heisman race at all? Is
I
anybody
do, and I have a vote. And look, when you get to the college level, there's not a bad athlete on that field, on that bus. Is the kid from Oregon the best? Is A.J. McCarron the best? Who's the best?
Right.
I haven't seen one break out yet.
Right.
Now, are they all good? Darn right they are. Manziel is having a great year. His numbers, his stats are better than they were last year, but his off-field antics, I don't think he'll be able to garner the votes. I can't tell you who I'm going to vote for yet because I don't know.
Right.
But it's a great honor, and it's a once a year honor, but it's a once of a lifetime honor, and it's going to be interesting to see who wins. It really will.
Yeah. This Alabama-LSU matchup has really had some great games in the past few years. Now, you were in Tiger Stadium for last year's game.
It was a fantastic, classic ball game. You go be in a year and not see another one that good. But what a great night! And everybody the next day that I talked to was mad. I said, man, you saw as good a football game as you can ever see anywhere, and you're mad? Well, yeah, we lost. Yeah, we did. But we lost because they played better that down. And it always comes back. Everything you got, all day, every day. And it was a great ball game. We've seen some great ones in that stadium, and we've seen some great ones on the road.